Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu has barely been seen in the public space for quite some weeks. However, like a well-oiled machine, the mechanism, that is the Lagos State government, has been ensuring its developmental and themes agenda are well in place to ensure its citizens get the dividends of democracy. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of This is Lagos. The Lagos State government has reviewed plans to rid the metropolis of street hawkers, beggars, and destitute people. The State's Commissioner for Youth and Social Development, Olusegun Dawodu, revealed that criminals are now hiding under the guise of street begging and hawking to rob unsuspecting residents of their valuables. He said a special task force has been set up and will begin arrest and rehabilitation according to the provisions of the relevant state laws.
Lagos State Government, through the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, in conjunction with the Police Command, to curb street begging and hawking in Lagos State. Beggars on our streets and roads constitute considerable nuisance to law-abiding citizens who are entitled to go about their businesses without any fear or hindrance. This is what the administration of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu promised Lagosians upon assumption of office. This is what it is delivering. This is what it will continue to deliver. Lagos State, with a population of over 20 million people, is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. Lagos State has representatives of all the ethnic groups in the nation, with thousands coming into Lagos daily in search of a better life. The results of this influx of people are, among others, pressure on the infrastructure and societal ills. As a responsible and responsive government, the Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu administration will not fold its arms and watch the state become a haven for beggars. It will take action to curb this menace. Street begging is a social vice that we cannot afford to watch attain uncontrollable level before we act. Otherwise, all the good plans and programs to transform our state would be adversely affected. The same goes for street hawking. This has become big business to some groups of people. Our investigation revealed that beggars and hawkers, children and adults, are transported regularly from other parts of the country to Lagos with the sole aim of doing this odious business that demeans humanity and abuses innocence in the case of children who are being pushed into this degrading trade. These groups of people have turned alms begging and hawking into a huge business by collecting returns from beggars and hawkers who incidentally sleep under the bridges, motor parks, uncompleted or abandoned buildings, and other places not conducive for human habitation. For us to succeed in this task, alms should be taken to registered homes, orphanages, rehabilitation centers, and all the faith-based organizations scattered across the state, where they will be used for the right purpose of ameliorating the condition of the vulnerable. By doing so, we will be able to discourage street begging. Obviously, this cannot be done alone by us.
Meanwhile, the State Commissioner for Police, Hakeem Odumosu, has assured residents of the presence of security personnel at road construction sites, especially during peak hours. He urged residents to keep their inner streets open so as to provide alternative routes for motorists when road diversions are inevitable.
The road construction that you're having is definitely adding on to the traffic. But I want to assure you that I haven't seen this. We have engaged CDC, we have engaged the local government officials now about the alternative routes because they are more the diversion. And what I do now, the police, we work in synergy with the Ministry of Transportation as well as Ministry of Works, both federal and state. Whenever they want to start the construction of any road now, both federal and state ministries of works now write to us, equally Ministry of Transportation, and they give us alternative routes. So where we need to divert traffic. And in diverting the traffic too, that's where we have to engage local government chairman that streets that are having gates, the CDA, the CDC, the Land Association now, to make sure that the streets are open for people to have traffic diverted. Equally, we are actually engaging the construction engineers too, the contractors, because many a times we have asked to look into the peak period of traffic moving and coming. So some of them now have in collaboration with that, so they have decided to work in the night where the traffic is heavy with presence of police. We give them police to keep them safe in the night where they are working.
The Lagos State government is urging residents to prevent avoidable loss of property by enrolling in competent insurance schemes. The State's Commissioner for Finance, Rabiu Olowo, said the state has expended over 2 billion naira to insure its properties. He said this policy came in handy during the violent looting that came in the wake of the EndSARS protests last year.
Lagos State government over the years has continued to insure its staff with regular payment of premium to cater for them during service, and also payment of death benefits by the insurance companies to deceased beneficiaries. Additionally, the concept of this insurance week with the theme, "If you can be insured, we'll bear your risk," came into fruition following the discovery that a large chunk of the state workforce is not fully aware of the existence of a professional insurance directorate domiciled in the Ministry of Finance, and as such have not been maximizing the crucial role being performed by this directorate in the ministry. The Insurance Directorate provides professional risk advisory to the state. The Insurance Directorate also coordinates the various insurance policies and packages of the state. The task of ensuring that vehicles, buildings, machineries, electronics, computers, all our assets, as well as welfare package of the entire workforce is the responsibility of the Insurance Directorate in the Ministry of Finance. This really helped us during the very difficult time of some of the social vices that we have witnessed in the last 1 year. The Lagos State government is already setting the pace in the area of insurance. It is expected that Lagosians also embrace this initiative by taking necessary insurance cover that suits them. This way we can help lessen the worries on government. In many times, our citizenry call on government when they seek compensation for some natural disasters, unfortunate incidences. It could be fires in the market, it could be any of such events. Such thing will become a thing of the past as we have necessary insurance cover for ourselves.
The commissioner said the state is looking to improve its advocacy for insurance by embarking on a week-long campaign to engender residents to an insurance mindset.
Insurance is compulsory in Lagos State for life and other non-life assets, because it is one way that we manage our risks. This year alone, we have paid over 2 billion in insurance premium to cover life and non-life. So that speaks to the importance of insurance. And just to speak a little bit further, we have seen the benefit of engaging in insurance activities. During COVID, Lagos State was the epicenter for COVID. During the civil unrest, Lagos State was the epicenter for the EndSARS. We have seen government properties, assets, and in some cases, injuries to our staff and associates. So we have been a real, maybe for lack of better word, we have enjoyed the real essence and value proposition of insurance. And the best we can do is to further our commitment to ensuring that our insurance activities is even much more strengthened.
Luggage in hand, the indigents of Lagos State studying at the University of Jos disembarked from the bus after hours on the road. Their return is not due to a vacation, but rather the communal clash which has claimed several lives in Plateau State.
The greatest Nigerian student of the most articulated Joseph. We want to yarn, we want to talk, we want to articulate, to appreciate, to show gratitude.
The elated students who felt safer than they were a few days before narrate their experience.
It was horrific, whereby the first experience, it started on a day, on in broad daylight. And in the process of students coming back or getting back to their hostel, some were attacked. And not up to 24 hours, students were disturbed at the hostel, especially the one staying beside village hostel. And village hostel is within the premises of the university. And students had to be running helter-skelter within that period, that night. And since we all thought it was coming down, the following day, third day, it escalated to the extent whereby we recorded 4 students who were killed.
You wake up in the morning, you can't do anything, it's just to sit down outside. While you're sitting outside, you see people running. While you're back inside your room, you hear gunshots everywhere. The whole thing is between the Plateau and Fulani people, but the victims are students. They don't even care wherever it is you're coming from. Is either if you're Yoruba, you're Hausa, you're Igbo, anywhere you're coming from, as long as you're a student, because the school is situated in the midst of Hausa people. So students are the victims.
On the 9th of August, so when we started the exams, we started hearing stories from far that, okay, Fulanis are in Jos and they are attacking the Christians. We were hearing it from far, it wasn't close to us, so examinations were still on. Not until some of our students were attacked, and then students who stay off campus like myself could not be able to access keke to get to examination venue because of the majority of the keke riders in Jos are Muslims, so they were using some of them to attack students, mostly Christians. So the school had to put the examinations on hold, pending when the whole crisis is going to calm down. But day by day, it kept escalating and escalating. So states started sending in representatives to come and take some of their students out of the place.
When you guys were coming from Jos, and we were being briefed about how the journey was progressing, we were all praying that you should get there in peace. So the governor is very happy that you are here in peace. The governor is very happy that none of you have suffered any loss. And then I would like to once again express gratitude to all the people who made this happen. They are too numerous for me to be mentioning. Some of them have been mentioned here today. But what this has shown is that the government of Lagos State, under Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor, has the capacity, the ability to respond to any emergency at any point in time. So there are so many things you can do during this holiday. You can visit any of our tech hubs and try to update yourself about technology. You can visit any of our libraries to see that you do not lose touch with what is going on in school.
For us in Lagos State, we run by an agenda. That is what we call the team's agenda. And the last word, this SDR simply means what? Security and what? Governance. Making sure that we live a functional and productive life. And for you to live functionally and productively, you must live in a safe and what? Secured environment. I would want to extend that beyond borders, even where we have our residents in Lagos, because where you are representing Lagos. Anything that affects you there, it has an implication to the government of what? Lagos State. And that is why when we had that call, we did so many strategic thinking around mobilizing you here.
The students here are, however, worried for their colleagues and classmates yet to be evacuated by their various states. In the midst of all the fears, when the coast will be clear for the students to return to school should be a priority for government. The COVID-19 pandemic is definitely not behind us, and the Lagos State government is not resting on its laurels. The state governor briefed the press on the actions the state government will be looking to take to ensure its new phase of vaccination is more transparent and effective to ensure all residents are well equipped to handle the virus this time around. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has announced that the state will begin vaccinating its citizens with the newly received Moderna vaccine on Wednesday, 25 of August 2021. The state's incident commander, while briefing journalists at the State House, said the vaccine has arrived at a critical time where the COVID-19 third wave has claimed 135 lives with an increasing demand for oxygen due to a rapid increase in positive cases.
One of the major pillars for our mitigation strategy for this third wave is the vaccination. We cannot but ensure that we vaccinate a large percentage of our population. And what we've seen also is that the population that has been vaccinated are not the ones that are coming up now. But we're seeing a drastic reduction, based on the numbers of vaccination we're seeing in particular places. There's one reason why we have not spared any cost at ensuring that the vaccines that have been provided by the federal government are made available to every resident that meets the requirements for the vaccination program. We're also seeing that countries that have vaccinated a larger percentage of their population are obviously recording very low positivity rate, meaning that there's something also that goes with if you can vaccinate a lot more people, you will see a lower positivity rate. So we as a government continue to ensure that we work very well with the federal government and all the vaccination they've given to us. We received a total of about 299,992 doses of the Moderna on the 18th of August. They announced that they were going to give us 601,000, but they've not given us the entire 601,000, based on their own logistics, at the federal level. But we've received just a little over 300,000 right now. And I'm happy to announce that from Wednesday, on the 25th, we'll commence the vaccination at over 150 centers across the states. We'll start the vaccination there. The increase in the number of centers compared to the first round of vaccination is because we want to prevent gathering of a crowd in large number, and to ensure that even the vaccination program itself does not constitute a super spreader event. So we've brought up more vaccination centers so that people can keep social distancing and they don't need to go there and get infected by just coming to take a vaccination. We also ensure that administration of this vaccine is based solely on appointments. Please do not visit if you don't have an allocated facility to you, or you have not registered online and you've not been given an appointment time. The registration can be done online using the federal government vaccination portal, which is at nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Let me repeat that again. NPHCD. So NPHCD means National Primary Health Center, DA, then vaccination.gov.ng. You can find the list of health centers facility online at the various vaccinations, and you can you can also check the Lagos State website. You will know where all the 150 centers are. Obviously, our ultimate goal, is to have an herd vaccination immunity, meaning that at some point we're planning to have almost 60%, of our population vaccinated. Let me also further re-emphasize that vaccination is free, in all of our locations. If you have gotten your appointment and you come around, they are meant to be given to you free of charge. It's important for me to reiterate that the Moderna vaccination is also a double dose vaccination like the first one, which was the AstraZeneca. And what it means is that when you receive your first dose of the Moderna, you'll be given a date when you need to return for the second and the final dose. It's important to say that the Moderna that we're administering from this week should not be mixed up with the AstraZeneca, meaning that if you have taken the first dose of AstraZeneca and you're waiting for your second dose, please don't rush to want to say you want to take the Moderna. Just wait, because we're expecting another shipment of the AstraZeneca, so that people that have taken the first dose, they can now go and take their second dose. So please do not mix up the ones that we're giving now to the first dosage that we have taken with the AstraZeneca. We have identified that the third wave emerged on account of non-adherence to the laid down health protocols that was designed to mitigate the flow of the pandemic. For this reason, it is essential for me to once again remind all of us of the huge responsibility we have to contribute at fighting and defeating this virus. As a state government, we have taken substantial steps to arrest this third wave at its track. Most notably of them is our increased monitoring and enforcement embarked upon by members of our incident command units. Unfortunately, we have recorded severe recalcitrance on the part of the public, which had led to a higher infection rate, which we are now recording at our various centers. The health and travel protocols and guidelines issued by the federal government and states exist to protect and safeguard all of us, and the inconveniences that might come with them are only a small price to pay to avert far-reaching serious consequences, which I'm sure we're all seeing today. The vaccine is supposed to reduce extensively, the effects of the virus, getting you to a mobility state, meaning that taking your life, it will increase your chances extensively. That's why some of those vaccines have 90%, 95%, some different level of, it will reduce the likelihood of you dying out of, the virus in the event that you contact it. That's what they told us, right? So, but they haven't said that there will not be one-off case or two-off case. It's very unfortunate, right? But that in itself cannot be a reason for us not to want to be vaccinated. In everything, there will still be a 0 point something percent, that will be off the track, and that's the kind of thing that we've noticed, right? So, and it's everywhere in the world. It's everywhere, even everywhere that these vaccines are being, manufactured. They're just getting better. I mean, we've heard about a possible third inoculation in some other countries, for example, after 8 months or 10 months. So there's a lot of, recertification that is going on, that it's still a learning process for all of us. But we've seen, especially, and the data is there to prove that in countries where they've done extensive vaccination, the amount of positivity has gone down significantly. So that's why we believe that it's working, right? And it's better for all of us if we have the opportunity to be vaccinated. Please, let's take that opportunity and let's get vaccinated. And so the advocacy it's all of us. It's all of us, and we're not stopping. We're not backing down. We'll continue to make sure that we're print handbills. We'll continue to make sure that everywhere you go to, we'll have the flyers. The Lagos State Safety Commission are still going around to ensure that at events, that the protocols of COVID-19 are in place. And all of us, like I said, we're all on this together. Gentlemen of the press also still have that responsibility to the general public to ensure that they create adequate space to talk about it and be able to get our people to know that indeed it's still available, the vaccine is still around us, and we need to do everything to be able to, and we cannot we cannot but encourage our people, to ensure that once you have the opportunity to be vaccinated, please turn up and get vaccinated.
The state government is making efforts to procure its own vaccines that's outside of the federal government's interventions. This is to ensure all eligible residents are vaccinated, especially in the third wave of the COVID-19 Delta variant. That completes our episode for this week. Until next time, I'm Wilson Omoni, and this is Lagos.